Many people have attempted to portray Princess Diana in movies and TV series across the decades. None have done it quite so flawlessly as Elisabeth Debicki in the most recent seasons of the Netflix original The Crown. Scooping up a well-deserved Golden Globe for the cracking performance, we are going to analyse just how Debicki managed to win us all over by comparing her efforts at portraying Princess Diana with others who have taken on the same challenge. Let's get to the crunch. Whether you like Princess Diana or not, one thing we can all agree on is that Debicki's performance encaptured Diana arguably more than Diana herself, probably leaving poor confused Harry feeling more in love with Debicki after watching the season than his own wife. Debicki attributes her realistic performance to hours of studying the abundance of footage available of the princess, due to her being the most photographed woman in the world for many years. She also accredits many of her emotional scenes to having a deep understanding of every aspect of Diana's past, including her royal journey and the relationship she shared with her family and friends. From her posture to her intonation, the subtleties that Debicki captures echo Diana's persona perfectly. But it is the hidden tragedy and pain that linger in her eyes, even when she is smiling, that are the icing on the cake to this particular performance. Let's start with her voice when she plays Diana. It's clear that the hours of studying the princess paid off as she replicates the tone, the texture, and cadence of Diana's voice effortlessly. She was asked to study speeches that the princess had given, which she did obsessively. This gave her the unique ability to transform her own voice into that of Princess Diana's in a split second.
So the speech that I learnt from was a speech that starts with the words, "In the past 12 years," right?
That's
In the
it.
past 12 years.
She imitates the light, wispy texture to Diana's tone that frequently drops to a deeper vocal fry.
In the past 12 years.
Her capacity to imitate Diana's voice so flawlessly is astounding. From the detail in her voice to the subtle expressions on her face, she mimics Diana's eye movements to a T. She directs her eyes in the iconic Diana way, often dramatically lowering them in moments of delight or contemplation or despair, which is enhanced by the way she tips her head forward and tilts it to the side, which in itself is a characteristic we have seen time and time again across the different interpretations of Diana, played by numerous brilliant actresses from Kristen Stewart to Naomi Watts. This is one trait that is typically perfected by most, but Debicki adds Diana's particular various speeds of blinking intertwined with moments of doe-eyed stoic beauty, a feature that is overlooked by most, but graced Diana in her time with a subtle vulnerability. Diana had practiced the art of classical dance for many years in her youth, so her postural movements were framed by a perfectly straight back, with her extremities having a delicate air of finesse. We did capture moments of a more rounded shoulder in her youth, maybe when she was intimidated by the press or during her divorce when she was going through a very difficult period. But Debicki picks up Diana's story as she's going through a slightly easier period in her life, reclaiming her personal love affairs and taking holidays and wearing a newfound confidence, which is why we see this curved shoulder posture much less frequently in Debicki's performance compared to others who played Diana at an earlier period. Debicki played the part so well that any future actors who take on this role will indeed have large shoes to fill. Elisabeth Debicki is also often seen on the red carpet wearing Dior. Dior choose their collaborators wisely, as they have an extremely sought-after label who many would love to work with. But no amount of attempts or sordid efforts will give some people that foot in the door that Debicki has. Dior, aside from being experts in the fashion industry, are also an intelligent brand, if you know what I mean. Someone said it's not a portrayal, it's bringing her back to life. This is frequently echoed in the comments of people who have watched Debicki's performance in The Crown. It's really like she's living through the emotions. The acting is so sublime. that we almost forget Debicki is not Diana at times. Which leads me to the next comment, which says, she resembles Princess Diana insanely that the viewers get confused sometimes. I don't know if you've looked at photos or stills of Debicki from the show as Diana and stills of Diana. It is difficult to tell the difference. If you're looking at them quickly at a glance, sometimes I have to double check to see if we're looking at Debicki or Diana. Obviously, this is partly down to Debicki's performance and the way she carries her posture, but also largely all of the other people who were involved in making the crown, the costumes, the makeup, the hair, and all of the people who helped coaching Debicki into becoming the character of Diana. Someone else says, just when you think Emma Corrin's Diana can't be topped. Emma Corrin, of course, she was in the earlier seasons of The Crown, in which she played a younger Diana when she was marrying Prince Charles at the beginning and going through this very difficult time with Charles. She did a absolutely fabulous performance. Again, I would completely agree with that. When I saw her playing Diana, I did not think it could be topped. And then comes in Debicki, just such an astounding performance. And one of the more profound comments that I've read on Debicki's performance, Elisabeth Debicki should be called Princess Debicki as she is so fit. Quite an insight. If you think Debicki's performance was absolutely fabulous, then please give this video a like and subscribe to help the Crown family blossom. See you down in the comments.